So, welcome back to the next edition of 92 Mix FM's Meet the DJs. My name is Gary from the Mix FM programming department. In our last session, you met our night DJ Giovanni. And today, here we are with our daytime 10 to 3 listen while you work guy. It's Logan.
How you doing, Gare?
Hey, it's all good, Logan. It's all good. I'm glad you're here today, and our listenership can meet you and get to know you a little bit better. And what I'd like to start with is how did this name Logan come to be?
Well, I guess an ex-girlfriend back in 1996 says, you know what, you need a cooler name. So why don't you call yourself Logan? There's a guy in the New England Patriots at the time, I think, had that name. And I said, you know what? I'll keep the name. I liked it, and it's worked for me. But she she not so much.
So, Logan, what motivated you to get into radio in the beginning?
I think my mother said my very first microphone was a spoon. I was always, pretending to talk on the radio, listening to 77 WABC back in the day. And I love the grassroots. Started, pretending I was talking up Sooner or Later and all these great songs. And, then at 14, I got a job at a roller rink. And I actually got in trouble for breaking the format by putting AC/DC Back in Black on. So I knew there's the renegade personality coming out of me. And then when I was 16, I had a radio show on high school. That led to, the small market station. And then, I just went up the ranks and did that. But yeah, it started in the bedroom, talking up records, went to the roller rink, and off we went.
So, other than being on Mix FM during the day, do you have any other hobbies?
Yeah, I really love to play tennis. I'm a certified USPTA tennis teacher. I can teach you how to play tennis, Gary. I'm sure you're already pretty well. I also like to go to the gym and work out. And, I don't really have a lot of time for, hobbies because, I'm always doing something with my wife on the weekend and things like that. But I love playing tennis. I love going to the gym. I love trying to stay in shape and as best as I can. But, yeah, it's fun. That's how I keep busy.
So, other than all the great variety that you play on Mix FM, what's your favorite kind of music?
Now, I do love everything that we play. I really do. And I know it sounds stock and cliche, but I really love a variety of music in my personal life. And you know what, Gary? I have to say, even on the fringes on both sides, I go from soft rock, yacht rock, to Ozzy, to heavy metal, to hip hop, you name it. I love it. The only thing I really don't like is show tunes. But other than that, I mean, I like just about everything. In fact, but if you put a lie detector to me and you looked in my iTunes music library, I would have to say 80s, 90s, R&B, and soul. A lot of those, I was those are my clubbing days, and so I would have to say 80s R&B and soul would be the number one genre of music I have in my iTunes library, but I really love it
So
all.
now, the most important question I'm going to ask you, and the number one question that our listeners probably have, talk about your favorite foods.
Carbohydrates. I no, really, I love Italian guy meat. I love pasta. I love meat. I mean, I basically could have meat and pasta every day, and I don't recommend it. It's not good for you to have that every day. But I do love filet. I don't really like fish. I don't like anything that comes out of the water. I don't know. I don't know why, but I do. I do love the meats and I love the pasta. The Italian guy in me. So chicken parm, filet, go for it.
Alrighty. And one more question just before we wrap this one up, Logan. When you're on the air during the day on Mix FM, what do you think most of your listeners are probably doing while they're listening to you?
I think they're really getting into the music because I mean, I try to bring a lot of energy and make the workday not boring. We don't want to be the same old workday radio station. We want you to get up out of your chair and have a good time. And I know I bring that energy and I hope they pick up the vibe. And I look at it this way, Gary, if I'm not having fun, the listener's not having fun. So to me, I'm having fun, loving the music as much as they are.
All right. Well, Logan, so good to get to speak with you, and hopefully our listeners have a little better understanding and appreciation for what their 10 to 3 buddy on 92 Mix FM is all about. And coming up next on the 92 Mix FM Meet the DJ series, we'll have our morning guy. Logan, you know that guy, right? Rick
I,
Gary.
Rick Gary, Mr. Smooth.
92 Mix FM.